Hi, welcome back channel, FIFA Mobile. Alright, finally something decent from the 1000 club points pack. We got this 117 RW. Really happy with this new card, and of course going to share with you this moment of using my last number of gems to open the standard pack of 50% off. So far nothing really much, but really lucky at the last one. This is not an RW, it's a ST, but nonetheless as just 112 is still better than none. So so-called spent all my gems. I think we left with 915. I doubt we can do further. I mean, probably tomorrow okay, be able to save more gems. We'll be able to open one more pack at most, and that's about it. So in terms of coins, I've spent my 2 billion, right? So I left with 81 million. So that's all I could do in terms of coins. On all my resources are all spent. So now just really focusing in winning the champions. I'm going to share with you later on. That will allow me to have gathered sufficient club points, and of course I mean you have to sacrifice the 113 and the 112 players to get a bit more club points later on. But for now, whatever I could, I'm just going to exchange for club points, because eventually I'm aiming for the 1000 club point pack. I showed you earlier in the thumbnail. We got that fantastic 117 RW. I do not want to open another of those 300 club points pack, because I do not understand that eventually be getting repeated players, and really utterly disappointed with EA giving us repeated players time and again. I think I opened at least 5 or 6 of those 300 club points packed. So I would rather, I think, if you could save it for the 1000 club points pack, you get better players, and of course hopefully not repeated ones. Alright, so this is one of those matches that isn't that tough. Eventually it's just moving towards the H2H gameplay. So in this quarterfinals, it's again MCL and MCI. Sorry, pardon me that. So it wouldn't be difficult at all. I mean, when you play, and of course I'm really happy with my new ST, which I got from the pack opening as well. So this great player do have fantastic speed. I'm really happy. You can see the speed wise is really good, right? So that's really what you want to look out for in terms of the ST. So just to bear in mind. And of course what I'm really working on is also the CDM that I'm hoping to get very soon. Although the OVR isn't that high, it's just a 114 at max. Once we hit the 30 transfer points, it'll be a 119. But nonetheless, I think it's important to have it into the lineup, because I do understand that eventually founder players, there are two types. One that actually gives you a new player in the new season, which is the 114. And if you do not have it in the lineup, I'm not sure whether we will be getting a new player in the new season at all. So I'm putting him into a lineup with a CDM. So I'm working on the CDM lineup separately, which I created one more lineup for it. And with that, hopefully once we get a 114 upgrade to 119 with 30 transfer points, we should be able to create one new lineup with a CDM formation. The only thing you do with the CDM formation is that I think there's only one SD position. So with that, that's something to sacrifice. I'll be putting in the ST that gives the new player. So definitely not this 2 ST. This 2 ST doesn't create a new player in the new season. So this is why sometimes you could sacrifice a bit in terms of the team OVR, just to make sure you have a new player in the new season. Alright, but again, on the other hand, I do understand once you start in terms of a new season, your team OVR and your achievements actually give you a certain number of rewards. So these are things that you have to ponder about eventually. I think in less than a month I'll be moving on to the new season. So get as many as those new founders players that gives you a new player in the new season as much as possible. In the event itself, I think we're getting 4 numbers of those, but nonetheless, if you can get more, why not? So just take a look at the gameplay in the H2H. It seems in my favor right now. It's getting really tough sometimes fighting H2H, but at the mean juncture where we have good players, I think we can put it in the lineup to play against these H2H matches, which happens almost daily. That's what I intend to do, probably at the tail end, whereby once we decided to put a good formation in for the new season to end this current season, the rest of the players may be exchanged for club points, and hopefully we get more players from another 1000 club point pack. So I'm saving up for another 1000 club point pack, hopefully. So this is what I intend to do. But current juncture, I'm not going to sacrifice these players yet, because we need these players in the current lineup to win H2H matches. So this is something you're going to ponder about probably at a later stage or the last day itself, when you're ready with your last formation. Then you should actually ponder about which of the players will be in your final lineup, and then which players you're going to sacrifice for the club points itself. Alright, so this is something you're going to think about, and while preparing to start a new season and end this, because whatever players you have, reserves or substitutes, is definitely not useful, and I'd rather you convert it to club points, so hopefully you get another founder player with new season player tagged to it. Alright, so this is something we got really work on, and of course in terms of coins, in terms of gems, you understand that all this doesn't bring sports to the new season, so just make sure you spend all you could in terms of gems. Do it in terms of the spending of the daily. There's a limit of 5 packs. If you have lots of gems, please do it early, otherwise you'll all be sacrificed. It will not be you'll be forfeited and not be brought forward. As for coins, there are 2 ways about it. You can actually do it to get club points by buying the 111 OVR player, which I thought is reasonable, because it's only costs like 20 or 30 million. So these are the ways to do it, and if you are really lucky, you manage to buy a very high OVR 120 player, you'll get 8,000 club points. Yes, there's 8 chances you open 8 numbers of those 1,000 club point packs. Alright, so this is the final match in the challenge itself. Quite lucky today, faced with relatively easy players, as compared to sometimes it's really crazy, whereby I have really tough players, and EA not doing you a favor, but actually have a goalkeeper that actually does wonders by the opponent, whereas your goalkeeper doesn't catch a single ball. So this is something you gotta bear in mind. EA has predetermined the winner, so it's really difficult to overturn the hikes. That's important. Bear in mind, eventually EA fixed the matches in a way. In order to overturn the tide, it takes a lot of effort, because most of the time it doesn't turn well. The other thing you gotta take note is definitely try not to overrun your players in terms of using all the way rushing your players, because they were basically tired out, and once they turn red, they wouldn't have energy for the second half. That's provided you don't have enough substitutes, but if you have substitutes, then by all means rush your players so they can fully utilize it for the 45 minutes, what I'm trying to do right now. Then eventually I will change the players for a fresh pair of legs coming in, and you must know your position well in terms of which are the ones that actually you can manage to tire out, and which are the ones you shouldn't be, because if you're not going to do a replacement, and if they are all red, then it's really terrifying that your defenders, for example, you don't have a substitute for a defender, and you are making all of them running like mad, and eventually turn all red in the second half. There's no way your defenders can run anymore, and you'll be in deep trouble. So just bear this in mind. Whereas what I'm trying to do is always exploit the speed of the CMs, and then eventually going to turn in the subs for the CMs, and eventually this will allow me to go really high speed. So you can see when they are full grain, the power is really strong, and definitely the speed is there. You can see, although sometimes I said depends on luck. Here we go. Alright, so it seems lucky here. That's 2-0 already. I think we secured the win. Definitely this is going to give us a good number of, I think, 70 club points. That's compared to 45 if you lose. So there's extra 25, and you know extra 25 means a lot, because it takes a lot of effort to get 15 club points, because I think it takes 1-2 player non-tradable to get 15 club points. So extra 25, it makes a lot the difference, and of course you do need to play the challenge in order to get sufficient club points. You do remember, I mean, the initial those skill games, or even those matches, they give you like 10 or 20 club points. It all adds up, and of course the most importantly is to win the last 2 of the H2H, because 45 for the semi-final, and 70 for the final. So this all adds up, and it's 100 over club points at the end of the day for everyday basis. So if you do a calculation That's the amount of club points you can get. I think it's best rewards is to get the 1,000 club points opened packed rather than the 8,000 club point pack, because the 8,000 club point pack is really expensive unless you are really filthy rich. For me, I'm going to sacrifice these 2 players, and with that, going to open this pack of 1,000 club points. Here we go. Alright, finally get a good player. Thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe. Goodbye.